Hey YouTube, Lawler as always. It is Thursday, which means we've got some RLCS predictions for you all. It is open 5 for Europe as these teams are battling for a spot for the major in Raleigh. I want to put this out. I think there's just a pretty easy narrative in Europe right now where the top 6 are pretty dang solidified. We aren't seeing as many upsets nowadays, and I don't think that's anything to be worried about. I think it's actually very good for the space. But what is exciting is that some of the teams that are in that like 5-6 spot are starting to show involvement in the sense that they can kind of overtake some that we assumed were going to be 3-4. I was very high on one team in particular, and I've been kind of dropping their stocks as of late while this other team has been improving. So if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, make sure you strap in. And if you guys enjoy the content along the way, make sure to hit like, subscribe, turn notifications, check out the socials. With that said, let's jump into predictions. We've got Group A first. We're going to be talking about our top 4. It's Dignitas, Karmine Corp, Ninjas in Pajamas, and Smoky Bacon Association. Looking across the board on these, I think Dignitas has a chance for a pretty easy run, but their Swiss has never been really my concern. Dignitas and Swiss has always looked pretty dang solid. They tend to beat the competition below them, but when they handle some of that adversity, things get a little shaky. Now, I don't think it's going to be an easy path all the way through, but I would like to assume that they do get rewarded with a high seed as well as a decent Buchel score with Smokey making it in. On the other side, NIP has been my team that has been dropping in stock a little bit while Karmine Corp continues to be perfection. We have seen NIP play upset to Karmine Corp here, but they haven't been able to carry it through when it matters most in playoffs. Maybe it is a mental thing with the guys and the pressure that NAS potentially succumbs to. And the other side of things, Karmine Corp is the best team in the world. I don't think there's any conversation. So I don't think I'm crazy when I say, yeah, they're going to win every match. Maybe they concede, but they will, just like Energy, find themselves in the grand finals, very likely winning it. I do think, and you guys all know how I feel about NIP, potential to go and shock the world, potential to go and do some amazing things. But my concern is starting to revolve around that team. Primarily, is the consistency on offense going to apply from Oski, and is NAS going to settle into the series? My concern with NAS is he has always played hero ball. When things don't go well, he kind of breaks rotation. He tries to take it on himself when he needs to settle into a series and trust his teammates. Will that happen? The other side, Itachi is incredible. Can he also be assertive in his challenge game to set up his teammates? Again, there's a lot of reliancy from each player on the field, but when they do their thing, they are capable of being a world beater and beating Karmine Corp. We'll see if we get that this time around. On the low side, pretty straightforward. I'm going to choose to believe in the young guns. I think there are some talented players on BSK. And while Fast Forward continues to be, in my opinion, the epitome of a gatekeeper team where they're making top 16s consistent, I don't see them ever getting a top 8, but potential to play upset in those lower rounds and maybe make it into the 9-12. This time I'm going to go with the young kids. Again, anytime I have a game 5, I could see it going the other way, but likelihood is the team is going to win with the one that I predict. As for Synergy and 100%, I think 100% is going to also get dealt similar regards. They are one or the other. They are either making top 6 off the skin of their teeth and being very, very close in game 5s, or they're going 0-2. So far, this remaining of this split has been the 0-2 story. Let's see if they balance it out. But based upon their competition, I do think Synergy with AJG and the guys is built pretty well to beat their playstyle. It's still a little bit loose, and I think it works pretty well. On the other side, Smoky Bacon, this is primarily for Buchel's purposes, for Dignitas, but I do have them beating Synergy in a close one. Maintaining those guys aren't bad by any means. Synergy, though, I have seen some inconsistencies in their height of their play. Because we even got to see it at FIFA E, where that team basically went and made some really good plays, but then you see Dorito falter a little bit, or they're not as assertive, and some of the problems arise. So I'm going to go with Smoky Bacon. I could see them losing as well. It's a game 5 for a reason. Over to Group B. Easy 1, 2, 3 for Vitality, Mates, and GK. The only conversation is it going to be GK or Mates? This is kind of where I was talking about at the beginning of the video, where you're starting to see those stocks increase for one, but falter for the other. I think NIP stocks down, Mates stocks are up. The difference this time around, and something to keep in mind, is when you have a team that brings in a new player, it is very difficult, even when scrimming against them, to have a proper assessment of what the team is going to look and play like in competitive environment. When you're actually playing in the RLCS, when there is weight to the matches, Are you going to play the way you scrim? Is it going to be a little bit different? And that uncertainty opens the door. And I think it is part of the reason, outside of just Seiko and Juicy playing very well, why they were able to go to 7 against KC. The thing is KC still won. So I think some of that unfamiliarity, Mates to me might clean up these matches a little bit more. I could see them playing upset to GK, especially in the play here, because GK has always been kind of that underdog or lower bracket team, in my opinion. But I do have Mates. I really like what they're doing here. Seiko and Juicy up front. Eugen doesn't have to do too much as the rookie, similar to what we got to see Drawley do. Play a little bit more passive until you find your kind of confidence in the play. Learn the ropes, be defensive, don't make mistakes, and allow us to sustain some pressure. GK is a very chaotic team and definitely has peak potential, which is why I could see them winning it. But I really like what the formation and the style of Mates is right now. I like seeing Mates right now. I think they've been a lot of fun to watch. They haven't faltered yet, but similar to what we got with NA and Gen G, Mates, I need to see a recreation of that success. We got it from Gen G. Can we get it from Mates? We'll find out. Vitality, I think, has a very easy top 6 guarantee. There is no reason for Vitality to drop. They should go 6-0. We'll see if that happens. On the other side, we do have Lowers. I do have a Chronic and Tempo and those guys winning their first one, with Caliente beating the new kids on the block. Again, all the old guard with Sizen and Noah. And I forget their third off the top of my head. But I have them falling to GK. And then I'm going to believe in the other old guard. I do think KDOP slots pretty well into this team. I think Astral still has a lot in the tank. Rizfox, not bad either. Rizfox, I forget how you say his name. This one could go either way. For top 8, that's about as far as it's going to go. So we'll see how it goes. On the low side, we're going to do those after we get our first. Dignitas Mates. I could see Mates definitely winning this one. I'm actually going to change that to 7. I could see this going either way. To me, that's basically a coin flip. I would like to believe in Dignitas as they continue to solidify themselves as one of those teams that should push themselves to major potential. Dignitas, I think when the going gets tough, has historically proven actually that they can get the wins, even against teams like Vitality and stuff, although Vitality, I think, was struggling at that moment. But Dignitas, to me, I think all 3 players are very, very mechanical. Their floor is relatively high, but they still have a very high peak. When Yoris is full in and like just vibing, that team looks really, really good. I don't foresee Stizzy making mechanical errors or mistakes anymore. I think he's settled into the roster. Jack is always pretty reliable. So I'm going to choose to believe in Dignitas. Mates, I've seen pretty hit miss with Juicy and Seiko at times, but we know the potential's there. I hope this is a really good match for everybody on Saturday. Vitality K Corp. I think K Corp is just the best team in the world. I don't know what else to tell you. I think stylistically, they're very familiar with Vitality. It should make for a fun affair. I expect these to be very close games. This could be a 4-3 banger. It could be a 4-0, 1-goal games. You never know how these are going to play out, but I do expect K Corp to keep winning. Low side of the bracket. This is how I have it planned out. Straightforward for you guys. Until K Corp loses, I'm not picking against K Corp. I think you're insane if you do so. While I think there is upset potential and some of the teams have done a better job of being competitive against them, K Corp is going to continue to dominate, and I don't foresee a world where they don't. On the other side, I think your top 6 is pretty solidified. You've got K Corp, Vitality, Dig, Mates, NIP, GK. Those last 3, mix up the order. That's what we're fighting for the major. If I'm a betting person right now, it is between Mates and GK to make it to the major, with NIP being in that 6th place spot. But these are the matches that will determine that. My hope, as a person who enjoys chaos and open 6, is that this happens. Because if this happens and we look at the points, all of a sudden we have a very, very close 2-point differential with 2 teams tied for 4th place. It makes open 6 very, very exciting if they do that. But if it ends up going the way that I think it probably will, you still have 2 teams tied with 2 teams then fighting for a chance. As long as one of these can outperform them by 2 spots. So like if they get a top 8, but these get a top 4, tiebreaker scenarios get exciting. And unfortunately for Direct, it's a ton of work. But based upon what we've seen, I think Mates is ascending while NIP is declining. And I think there's some complications with those things going on. So across the board, I think GK is a better team than Smoky Bacon. They have everything Smoky Bacon has and more. Same thing with NIP versus Dopamine. That's just a skill difference. No offense to Dopamine. On the other side, Vitality GK, I could see GK playing upset to a Vitality team, but I think Vitality is starting to solidify themselves as a top 2. I think they've really found their form and kind of worked out their kinks. On the other side, Mates and NIP, it's a coin toss for me. I realistically think this one to be a 4-2, but I hope it's a game 7. I hope it's a really exciting one to kick off the day on Sunday. Keep in mind, there's going to be a gap between these two. So even if they concede a loss, it's a fresh start the following day. But NIP again, and I agree with people in chat, NIP definitely has the ability to show up, but they haven't done it yet. They have the potential. They have the capability. You guys know how keen I have been on NIP. But the matter of the fact is, objectively, they have not been able to win the close matches they need to. Against the Dignitoses, the Vitalities, the ones that are winnable, where they can pump into a top 2 or a top 4, they haven't been able to do it. My assumption is you are going to see a very exciting battle for last chance qualifiers. We'll be talking a lot about that because it is almost time to start talking about LCQs with NA closing out. As soon as that 25th of this month hits, it is going to be time to start talking about the reformation of some of these teams that did not qualify. So as for EU, they've still got a lot to go. This event plus another. But if you guys are tuning in tomorrow on Friday, that is what I am expecting to go down. If you guys want to watch and get some more accurate predictions where I do these from match to match, come hang out with us. Twitch.tv/Lawler. We watch these live. We'll be live probably like 9:30 a.m. Central. Do a little bit of a pre-show and then get into the match-by-match situation. Should be a lot of fun, but that's going to do it for today's video. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, let me know down below. Let me know who you guys think are going to be your top 4 going to the major. And some big implications as well now that EWC does not have qualifiers. More on that tomorrow. But if you want to make sure you don't miss out, as always, like, subscribe, comment, all that kind of stuff. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.